Welcome to the Game Corner, another video game podcast. I am Sheldon, and I'm part of your host team today. I'm joined by a friend and co-host, as always. And
Rowan, you
yeah.
might know me as Mocha. Yeah, we're not doing great. So the two of us have never done one before. But Harrison has a migraine, so R.I.P.
So
Harrison.
we're unsupervised.
Terrible. He shouldn't have done that, but that's okay.
Yeah, stop having migraines.
Just simply don't. I don't understand. It seems like such an easy decision. We have a pretty short one for y'all today. Because there's really only one little bit of news since we're still in this tournament drought.
Yep. One thing that happened, but before we get there, how are you?
I'm doing okay. It's 4th of July weekend, right? So I got a nice long 4-day weekend. I can count. Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, it's nice. I'm looking forward to it. You got any plans or?
Fireworks near my house. A lot of beer. That's pretty much it, right?
Yeah. I guess they don't probably. Your cats aren't really bothered by fireworks.
No, they do not care. I'm assuming your dogs get real upset by that.
Hate them.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be fun. Try to drug them up here.
Yeah, desperately try to relearn Reg Gs. It turns out I'm just I put a lot of effort into this, and I think I'm just really bad at this format. I've been trying for a while. I don't really know what I'm doing anymore.
That's fair. It's a tough format. I mean, it really is. There's a lot. There's a lot of really good things
mistakes now and then. And when I had a Calm Mind Raging Bolt, 1 or 2 mistakes was okay. And now when everything dies in a hit, they are not okay. So yeah, just get good is the answer, but unfortunate.
Yeah. 'Tis the game we play.
Yeah. So you want to just dive into it and make this one short?
Yeah. We can go. The one big announcement we had from Play Pokemon over on Twitter. So they announced some changes to the 2025 or 2024-2025 season.
Yeah. So we've been milking this for a couple of weeks now. Rumors for the I think we got we had rumors for 1 week, and then we had some things confirmed for the following week, and now we have everything. And it's worse than our wildest dreams or nightmares or whatever. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, it is bad.
Yeah. So when it was just Harrison and me last week, we're basically saying that a top X is not ideal, but if you combine that with a low BFL as a best finish limit, it could be cool, and that it would mean that you don't have to travel all that much. For example, if you could only get points from 1 international and 3 to 4 regionals, that means you'd only have to hit that many over the course of the whole season, as long as you do decently at that many, right? But that
is not the
happen.
That is not the case at all.
Yeah, so let's I'm trying to decide whether we should summarize this real quickly or go through each.
Let's hit the major changes, I guess, the big so I guess the first thing is your championship points. There's no bar.
Yes,
anymore.
There is no bar. It's top X and top X.
Yes,
we speculated if it was okay. So for context, 211 people from North America qualified for Worlds this year in 2024. We thought that if you are talking top 125, then that's quite a drop, but it'll be a lot harder.
Almost 100 people that way.
And if you're topping 250, then it's a jump up. So great. The number is actually 75.
75.
So you're cutting a lot of people. Less than half of the people who made it this year will make it next year.
This is US and Canada.
Yeah, US and Canada combined. Canada, who our friend Pierre over at Pokesports will tell you was already not in a great spot because they had to hit the same bar we did.
Yep.
Apparently justified by the fact that they have access to the same events as us, and it's quite expensive to go over the border. So
access is used
everyone
very liberally.
Access.
Yeah,
everyone
it's very liberal.
You can get on a plane and pay for that every time.
Every everybody has access to everything with that kind of mentality.
We're starting with that, but you might say, Rowan, Sheldon, there could still be a low BFL. You could still have that good thing you're talking about, where people don't have to go to that many events, and you could, but you don't. The BFL is the same. It is 6 for majors. Yep. It does include internats now, but there
regional specials and internationals.
Yes.
You have your best finish for 6 combined.
They all have they share the same cap, and what that means is that you can get points from all 3 internationals. There is effectively no BFL for internats because it shares the same limit of 6, and there are only 3 of them. So if you want to be in the top 75, your best bet is to go to NAIC, EUIC, and LAIC.
Yep.
All 3. All on distant corners of the world, different continents. I looked it up. I'm like, as far as, American states go, like Georgia is like relatively close to South. It's not close to South America, but like compared to the rest of the country, it is. It's south. Right?
It's not,
you're still talking well over $1,000 in plane tickets alone to get there.
Yep. That's just plane tickets. That's not talking hotel, food,
hotels,
anything else.
Ubers. Yeah, exactly.
All the other costs.
Yeah. So, and of course, EUIC will still be in London, so that will be even more expensive to get to, and even more expensive to stay at. So, if you have money, you are doing a lot better than most people. But money and time. Yeah.
Because it's just not the money, like if you have a normal job, if you have
trust me, I know I have the money, I do not have the time. So
exactly. So like it's a weird, like, I don't know, it's such a weird decision to do that to people. Like, I don't know. I would like to know the thought process. I would like a little bit more of an explanation. I feel like, as to why they're doing this.
So they did listen to one complaint that we had, was that regionals were very underpowered in the previous season, right? You had a play where I got my top 16 finish at a regional gets you 80 points, and a win of an MSS last season got you 50 points, which is kind of crazy, close. Right? Like the difference in that, like, you can win a 10-person MSS that happens to be near you,
or top 16 a 1,000-person tournament.
Yeah, exactly. Or let's make it exactly the same points. Top 64, I think, got you 50 points, which is still top 64 is an incredible achievement at an 800-person regional, right? Yeah, that's so. They did buff regionals, but they also buffed internats to still be double effectively.
Yeah, the points for internets is crazy.
Yeah, so if you can get 5-4 points or whatever the equivalent of 5-4 is, because I think they've changed the day 2 structure a little bit, you can just get 5-4 points at 3 internets. You're doing better than a top player, like doing really well at all the regionals instead.
Yep.
Like, so that didn't really get fixed. What else is there? Okay, so the other thing, I guess, is that locals got nerfed.
Yes, locals are useless.
Pretty, we were speculating they would be, because they got changed to be the same as TCG. On top of which, so we have cups and challenges now. Other way around, challenges and cups in place of PCs and MSSs. Challenges will give you 15 points as compared to 30 from PCs, and cups will give you 50 as opposed to 60. Yeah, 50 as opposed to. Do you have the numbers there?
No, I'm trying to find the locals numbers here right now. This is all regionals.
Anyway, it's 10 points less than MSSs used to be. Yeah. You know that. Yeah. Yep. So locals have been nerfed, on top of which they now have a BFL of 4 for each type, as opposed to 6 that they used to have. So basically what they're telling you is you need to travel. You cannot. Previously, if you like maxed out your PCs and MSSs, you could get pretty close to an invite bar just like solely from that. They're barely doing anything for you at this point. Like, you should go for fun. You should go because you enjoy your local scene. You should go because you like the game. But if you're going for points, it's a little silly.
There's not. Yeah, the challenge is 15 points.
Yes.
If you win,
you know what the cup is?
50.
50. Okay, then where MSS is 60.
I don't even remember.
I can't remember. Anyway, it's not the point. Anyway,
it's not much.
Yeah,
and
you're not talking much.
And they changed how they can be ran too now. It's not like you can just have a pop-up local like we used to.
Yeah, I have some friends who did a spreadsheet. Basically, they took all of the top 75 players from Worlds this year, and then got their point totals from various events and converted them over to the new formula. Right? How many? Like, literally, like, this was painstaking work, by the way. I don't care who did this. They got all of their points split up by what kind of local tournaments they got them at, or regionals and internats, and like changed them over to the new formula. And they are, with the new formula, they're all getting like 700 plus points. Like, you're like, the bar is probably higher than that.
So you probably could have just raised the bar.
You probably higher. You majors, right?
Right.
But I guess my point is, if the number is going way up higher that you need to get, but what you get from locals is going down, The
Yep.
locals are like, even without the nerf, it would not be like very
Locals are
important at
almost
all.
there to like edge out when you're close in that top 75.
Yeah.
Like they're not there for you to pick up the last few points you need anymore to make worlds.
Yeah. So
which I think is a big problem. I think that's a big problem for the scene. I think it sends a bad message.
it means you got to travel.
Exactly.
And these events have like, it's always kind of been it's a luxury, right? Like
Yes.
it's always been something you kind of need to have money to do, but it's a little sad that you're making it worse. Like you're actively pushing it
which
in that
is fine.
direction.
I would be fine if, but like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people too are taking worlds like it needs to be like this super crazy tournament when it's a fledgling.
That's what day 2 is. That's what day 2
exactly
is.
Exactly. It's a fledgling esport at that. So like, I mean, you might have somebody that can only go to one or two major events during a year, do well enough to qualify under the current format.
Like if you're good enough to top cut a single regional, I think
exactly. Like I don't see a problem. I don't see a problem. I would rather see more. I would rather more people be at Worlds. Honestly, like if they're good enough, they'll make the cut. You know.
And just doing well at a single event, honestly, in my opinion, says more than doing mediocre a lot, right?
Exactly.
I'd rather see like you'll get points from 6-3 if you use 6-3 at every internet and 3 regionals, and then
a lot of points,
and then do well at some locals. You will probably edge into the bottom of the top 75. I would rather see someone who cuts a single regional and doesn't show up to a single event after that than that person who 6-3s everything, right?
I definitely agree, and I just think that's better for the sport. You know, I think that's better just for the entire scene. Is if, because I know we've talked about it offline, but like it takes away that mystique, I guess, that there is. That like I could show up, I could do really well, like at a couple events and make worlds, and then who knows? Maybe you go on a run. Maybe you hit triple protects every game. You never know. Like,
and let's be honest, most of us weren't making it anyway, right? Like,
but
the bar you weren't making it, but there's always that chance. There's always the chance. Like, it could happen, right?
Exactly. But now you have to win, which is that's a tall order.
The illusion's effectively gone now, right? Yeah. It's very hard to fool yourself into thinking you're getting that.
And I just don't think this. Run. I don't think this game's at a point where you could take away that illusion and keep players around. You know, like,
well, yeah, it's hard to say. I'll be interested to see what the season is like, what the numbers look like, right? Because we have had the biggest regionals ever the last couple of years, the last couple of seasons. So, like, do they go down in number now? I couldn't tell you. TCG is more important to them than BG.
For sure.
TCG is undergoing the same exact changes, right? They also have a bar. It's even harder for them. I think they got 125, but there are so many more of them that like.
I don't know. I honestly don't know if I don't know if numbers will actually go down just because people enjoy Pokemon and playing the video game and stuff.
In which case, which
is fine, but like I feel like for people that care, I guess, or follow VGC, or you have that aspiration in mind, it's just a blow to the player base.
We're in a minority of this, right? We're mid players. We're not top players. On casuals. How much are there like that?
But like I said, though, I mean, is it crazy to think like you get 2 crits and all of a sudden you're in top cut? Like you never know. Like that's the beauty of this game. Sometimes you can be in a position where you can literally luck your way in, and that's crazy. Then that's fun, and I like that for people. And I want to see that at Worlds. I want to see somebody at Worlds that was like a local hero, you know, show up and just run into top cut in Worlds out of nowhere. Like that would be beautiful. I love seeing those kind of things. I don't need to see the same 15 people on stream that I've seen all season.
I'm okay with the same 15 people making it to the top. You can inject as much luck as you like into the game. It's a random isn't winning Worlds, but like I do want to see number 76 win this year. That would be
hilarious. Like, I like Cinderella stories. Like they're fun. Cinderella stories are fun. And like I feel like as humans we like that. I feel like that is good for the sport. It gives them something to market. It gives them something to say, hey, look at this person. But whenever you're like, hey, you need to travel to, I don't know, 15 cities in a year to qualify for Worlds, like what?
So those same 15 people are now not just skilled, they're the skilled people with a lot of cash to throw around as well, and that wasn't always the case. I think like what was it, in the first season of Scarlet and Violet, before they started giving out automatic invites for winning a regional, Sempra won a regional, got most of their points through that win, but still was a decent bit away, and then proceeded to just win multiple MSSs in a row.
Yeah.
And that was how they got their invite. They couldn't travel there anymore.
I think you should be able to do that. Like, I think if you can only make it to like 1 or 2 tournaments in a year, like,
and you shouldn't
be punished. You shouldn't be punished for that.
Yeah,
which is the case now.
And so if you travel to lots of tournaments, you should get a benefit from that for sure. But the way the bar worked was that like, you weren't penalized for not being able to travel; just other people were rewarded for traveling. And
they got a travel allowance.
Penalized because you're competing.
Yes.
So
and like, what if you miss out on 5 points from top 75 or something because someone was able to go and place a little bit higher?
You are going to be actively rooting for other people's downfall.
Yeah.
It is like, if you're really sweaty about this, it is worth your time to stalk people's Twitter, find out what events they're going to, fly to the same event, and beat them there to stop them from placing.
Especially if you track the points. Like, that's what's crazy about it. There's no
people will. If you think this matter, imagine when people are competing. Like,
it's going to be rough, man. Like, I just don't like it. I just honestly it's just a bad vibe because it's such a this sport anyway, like,
it makes it a lot less friendly, right? Normally you want to root for everyone.
Yeah.
Like, even though, like, when I missed, like, I missed by a little bit at NAIC there, but like, I had a bunch of friends in that same building server who were in the same position or who had just barely managed to qualify right before me, right?
Yeah.
And we were all rooting for each other. We were all in the same. We were all very close to each other in the same bracket of points.
But you just have a bar. You just have to pass the finish line. That's all you have to do.
Like, I've come to be friends with these guys, so I'd like to think that we'd all prep together, but I don't know. It's actually not in your best interest of being point bracket.
It's just a weird decision. It honestly is to me. It's such a weird decision.
Yeah. Okay. So one other thing they included, I think it's worth touching on. It's good and bad. There's a couple things. First is that global challenges, there's going to be more of them.
More online.
This is an answer to accessibility. The unfortunate thing is that Scarlet and Violet is made of bubblegum and can't handle best of 3s.
Yes.
So you are
best
talking
of 1.
chaos. There it is. Like, which is how it always used to be, except terrestrialization adds a like an 18 times multiple randomness.
And the new items we have that can just blank things like clear amulet. Like, it's just.
Clam and Covert Cloak definitely change things a lot in that regard too. Yeah, but they are there. There's going to be at least 3 of them. I think they give a lot of points if you do well. So there is
170 for the top. Like, I mean, top 32 gives you 120. Like, I mean, it's a pretty solid chunk.
It's pretty good.
But it's a global challenge. It's not. Yeah, it's not
It is, but they take the Japanese players out of the at the end, so that's nice.
But they could still ruin your record. They can definitely ruin your day.
It is in your best interest to play during the night for Japan.
Yes.
Yeah, but that is cool. It means that Best of 1 ladder has a reason to exist now, besides for fun, right? Like, you
have a best finish of 3 with those.
Yeah. So
that's I feel like that means there's going to be a lot.
Start thinking about your crazy best of 1 closed sheet strats now. Yeah. There's a lot. There's some very cool stuff that came up in Japan.
Miracle Muck.
People know what that is, though. Yeah. You want something surprising, like and you can get away with all kinds of things. They went like Japan Nats had some very cool stuff. Like, they were skipping clam on a lot of mons that would normally always run it, and
because it always runs it, right?
Yeah, exactly. But then you have to deal with Assault Vest Tyrex Ice, and no one brings Incineroar because, ironically, it's too honest.
Yes.
So, yeah, so that'll be cool. Definitely cool to watch if they televise some of those matches. And then
people would be streaming them too. Like, during global challenges. Like, so find your favorite streamer, follow their run. Like,
yeah, it's one of those things that's excruciating to play, but super fun to watch. So yeah. What else is there? There was other things. The day 2 structure has changed a little bit too now. We're only playing 8 matches on day 1 instead of 9,
which is great.
Yeah, halfway
very
through, right?
Tired. That's a long day, man.
Yeah, compare this to 10 rounds when we started Scarlet and Violet, right? I'm very happy with 8, and you can day 2 with a 6-2 record. So that's really nice. I like that a lot. I've done 6-2 a bunch of times now, so to think that all of those will be day 2s going forward is pretty cool.
Yep. 8. So you need for the biggest tournaments, we'll have 18 match points. 12.
It does mean that day 2 will be significantly longer, mind you. It means that you should probably schedule your flights a little later in the day on Sunday.
So probably our max would be 12 rounds total of Swiss. with the day 2 if you have 1,000 people or
Yes,
1,025.
that's the other thing is that we now have asymmetrical top cut effectively. So if you were seated in the top whatever, I don't remember the exact numbers, but if you're just seated in the top whatever numbers for top cut, then you basically get a bye round. It won't always be a strict top 8 anymore.
Yeah. So it's top 8 and everyone with the same amount of match points as the 8th place. So up to 32 people.
Yeah,
in
so
top cut.
A huge top cut potentially, depending on how things pan out. Yeah,
most likely not going to be that crazy. Not going to be 32 people top cuts, but
it feels really bad to bubble, and I would have loved if this situation was in place a year ago too. So that is definitely a positive point. It's one step forward, 3 steps back, but you have to acknowledge the steps forward.
They at least did, like, we'll look at all the changes.
Your experience at the tournament itself will be better, though.
Yes.
At the end of the day, the only things that actually get worse are if you care about the points. If you don't, if you're just going to have a good time, which is what you should be doing, like, there's going to be good things to do, and I think it's still worth going to these events for sure.
Yeah, especially like with friends, people going to see people. That's the fun part.
Exactly.
They said, I mean, the competitive side, that's one thing, and it sucks for 99% of the player base, but
but I'll bet 99%. I'd say most of those people probably weren't trying to go to Worlds anyway, so it's fine.
So now you just show up to tournaments trying to ruin those top 75 people's days. That is
that's something. Yeah, outside of that, though, it's been pretty quiet because
I don't know anything going on.
Well, there's a lot of online tournaments, which is cool. But none of them are like any more prestigious than the others, right? Unless there's a very, very big player count. But yeah, the meta is just kind of developing. I wouldn't say in secret because best of 3 ladder is still pretty active, but
you're still not going to. They're people that are really prepping for Worlds are prepping in their circle, not on ladder. Maybe they'll test some things on ladder, but they're not playing. They're like, this is the sauce. Like, let me show this to the world.
It's a hard balance, right? Because you need to make sure that your sauce actually matches up well into things other people are playing, right? So
exactly.
Yeah, it's hard to say, but yeah, there are no big tournaments right now, so nobody really knows like what is actually cooking.
And the way this format can change, like, because this format is so volatile. Which is the beautiful thing about it. That's the thing I like about this format.
It's so cool to watch, and it's so rough if you get caught on the bad end of the meta.
Exactly. If you are a day behind the meta, you're going to have a bad tournament, basically. So I think that's a beautiful thing about it, and it's a good thing. But yeah, it's for us just sitting here waiting for Worlds. It kind of sucks because we're just like, I mean, I don't know what's happening. Like, I haven't touched anything with Reg G since.
Well, locals are back this month. In fact, I think in Georgia we have them coming up in a week or two even. So I'm excited for that. I'll definitely go to a couple. And I think the regionals are we have regionals soon even. Let me take a look at the schedule real quick. Event calendar.
Yeah, I haven't even checked to see what I have around me yet. I'll have to do that sometime.
What? Crazy enough, I don't think Victory Road has updated for the new 24-25 season. Yeah, so
I wonder if it's on the what you call it.
This is where we are
the mothership
grossly underprepared. Yeah.
What's the mothership got? Yeah, events. I mean, it's going to show me TCG. I got Pokemon Go League in July here. TCG League Go BG. So I got one in July. Yeah, I got them in July. So
nice. Yeah, all your local events are on your on the locator at this point. Yep. So if you're interested, definitely check them out. I know that there's an event in Baltimore coming up. There's an event in Louisville, Kentucky coming up. So just in the general southeastern/northeastern region, you have a lot to go for. I don't know about the West Coast. I'm sure there's something coming up soon. But yeah, regionals are already starting. They will be Reg G. Don't give up on single restricted just yet.
Yeah, like I said, my soonest one is July 13th. I mean, or 14th, July 14th.
Less than 2 weeks. Yeah. Less than 2 weeks from the date of recording, even less when this airs.
Yeah,
so
11 days from right now.
There's definitely events to play, and we'll see if locals actually shape the world's meta, or if that's just totally in a bubble.
It'll definitely have an impact, because I mean, it's still points. People are still going to
points for next year. Yeah. People
are still going to try. So you might get something out of it. Which I mean, also you could just be grasping for straws, and just hoping we get something out of it. Or people are just going to bring their cool, like, this is wild. I'm never going to get to play this again. Let me try it.
If you have anything crazy, then give it a shot and bring out your Necrozmas.
But like looking at mine, like, man, it is all just. I didn't know I had so much Pokemon Go.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to run, right? People just have to bring
their phones, yeah. And TCG, TCG, of course.
TCG's everywhere.
Which I'll be honest, like, I want to, but I don't want to buy a deck.
Some of them are kind of pricey, actually. Like, I started playing some most card games. So
I started playing some TCG Live, and it's actually not too bad. It's one of those kind of card games. It's just like, I don't know. I kind of get bored because you do your turn, and then you're just like, okay, here you go. You wait. Like like in Magic the Gathering, you can interact during your opponent's turn. To me, that is one thing it misses. So a lot of these newer kind of card games, a lot of them, there's no interaction in between. So whatever your opponent's doing, you cannot stop it. You can't do anything about it. You just gotta let it happen and just let it ride. In Magic, you can be like, nope, no. I can respond to that.
Yeah, I think Yu-Gi-Oh had something similar to that too.
You had trap cards.
But quick plays even from your hands, even. Yeah. So yeah, but definitely get out there. The game is still very fun. This whole episode has been like old men yelling at cloud type of deal, but at the end of the day,
on brand.
They tend to be.
On brand.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so definitely go to your locals, go to your regionals, have fun with the game. Nothing about that is changing. It's really only the people who cared about should be upset about this. Really.
And or if you had aspirations, it, like I said, it's just a blow to that. If you had aspirations, which I just don't like that for the people. Like I like people having hope. I like people to like show up and think like, man, this is my year. And now you're like,
it's 100% in here.
It's just deflating, man. Like, but you know what? Show up, have fun with your friends.
Exactly.
Like, X and 3 out or whatever, and go hang out with your friends for the weekend. Make a vacation out of it instead of like a work
day
trip.
2 with a 6-2. Yeah, exactly. So I guess the last thing before we wrap up here is, have you been playing any games, or is grad school still picking you up?
I have been playing. Picked up Medieval Dynasty.
Interesting.
It's actually pretty fun. So it's a survival kind of game. It's actually pretty fun. So I've been playing on PS5. You can get it on Steam. It's pretty much early access still because they're still updating. Like, they just added multiplayer to it. But I mean, you do.
So is it like a PUBG kind of deal?
No, it's more Pal World, I guess. It's that Valheim.
Interesting.
Like,
okay.
You start off as a peasant and go build a house somewhere and start building a little village or something. So, but it's been pretty good so far. It's got all the hunger mechanics, temperature, all that good stuff you need in the game.
Okay, so how multiplayer is it?
I haven't played multiplayer yet.
Okay,
it's
so you're
like up to 4 people.
World. Okay.
Yeah, so, but it's like up to 4 people. They're still updating, adding stuff. So but I like that they're actually still adding stuff instead of just letting it die. At early access single player.
Yeah, you mentioned Pal World. I think the big update finally did come out now, so that's very cool too.
Yeah, we need to get back. We need to get back on. We need to load back our world and see if it's still alive. If everything is on fire.
A long time ago, but that's fine. Yeah, I'm trying to think about what else for games for myself. I admittedly haven't played a lot of other stuff. I have been back, caught the VGC bug again.
Oh no.
I got the email about the beta for a game called 2XKO, which is an awful name, but it is the League of Legends fighting game coming out for casual.
Okay.
By casual, I mean easy to get into. So what they've done is they've gotten rid of the thing that most people who aren't into fighting games hate about fighting games, which is motion inputs, flat out. Like, if you haven't been doing quarter circles and dragon punches for years, learning that and making that second nature is just very annoying for most people. And I totally get it, because I started doing that kind of fighting game much later in life than I think most people who got super into fighters did. So like, they just get rid of that entirely, and all the inputs for supers are just like same as Smash Bros. Pretty much, like forward and a button, like a direction and a button, pretty much, right?
Okay.
That's not to say it's easy. Combos still look crazy long,
but it's simplified.
And it's tagged, and it's a tag fighter too, right? Yeah, but you don't have to do a crazy input in the middle of your combo, which I think simplifies.
Which is always a pain. Like, I still remember getting blisters played in Mortal Kombat. Like, like on the Super Nintendo.
And even Mortal Kombat's easier than a lot of these games in that respect. Yeah, like Street Fighter is those motion inputs plus rhythm elements as well, which is like you can do the right input, but if you do it at the wrong beat, effectively your move won't come out, which is very frustrating. Even for me, I'm like decent at it, and I don't like that. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for it. On top of which, it looks amazing. It has the IP of League of Legends behind it, and Riot is pumping millions and millions of dollars into it. So it looks like
if that's one thing I will give Riot
kind of territory.
Riot knows how to get a game out there and make money off of it without like milking the player base too bad. Like they like League of Legends, you don't get sucked dry to play the game.
No, if you pay money, you're going to be paying it for skins and
like simple or just add-on stuff. You're not paying to get good at the game.
League
you're not paying
charges for champions, right? No, really.
You can unlock them, but it's an in-game currency, or you can use real money to buy champions.
Okay.
And like every week they have a different rotation of free available ones.
That's generally good. Yeah, I mean, it's always a trade-off. I personally like paying $60 and just having everything.
Yeah.
But if you want it to be a live service thing and you want to give it to people for free to start out to get them hooked, then I guess that's something you have to do.
It's microtransactions done right, I believe, like with League of Legends. Like,
yeah, I personally don't like any playable content.
Yeah.
Behind unlockables on it for a competitive game, right? Like,
yeah,
it's the same.
It's all
same complaint I have about Pokemon is I should never have to anything.
You have to level up your account or whatever to get to the full competitive side. To unlock all your summoner spell, whatever. But whatever, it's not a too bad of a grind. Like you're learning the game while you get ready for.
I'm okay with that, but like it shouldn't take me any longer than it does to EV train a single mon than to be fully competitive with everything on an account. In my opinion, I don't know, but again,
I'm agreement with you there. But if you're going to be free in microtransactions, League of Legends is one of the better done ones in a long time because it's just not going to like, hey, you want to actually play the game? Here, pay us $50, like. And then keep asking you for $50 every month. You
definitely have to do one or the other. If you sell me the game and then microtransaction me, it's pain. But yeah, no. Anyway, I'm pretty excited about that. It's been looking good. They've been they've been showing updates to it for literally years.
I'll have to look at it. I haven't seen anything about them coming out with a fighting game.
Yeah. So they did a big announcement years ago and then just went radio silent. So it's exciting. It's supposed to come out, I think, early next year.
Nice.
But I should be on that beta this year, which will be great.
Yeah, and I still need to get on. I haven't gotten a chance to get on whenever they're doing a play test, but for that Loki Project Loki or whatever it is, it's a bunch of ex-Riot developers who made their own game. They made their own MOBA, but it's different as far as like the movement and stuff. It's like,
is it like first person Smite or third person Smite kind of thing? Or top down?
It's top down still, but there's a lot more movement as far as like, I don't know how the map is and everything. There's like levels to it, but it looked interesting.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
But yeah. Do we want to wrap it up here?
Yeah, we can wrap it up.
All right. So I don't have Harrison's script in front of me.
I don't have it either, but I think it's,
thanks to Rob KTA for the use for the song.
There you go. On the Goldenrod Game Quarter Ultra Ball album.
Boom. We did it.
Yeah, this is, I've been Sheldon. You probably know me as Captain Nova. All the stuff will be in the link tree down below. I'm sure Harrison will put it there. And who have you been, Rowan?
I've been Rowan. Exactly the same thing. My things are in the link tree.
And together, we have been the Game Corner. And appreciate all y'all listening and hanging out. And don't forget to press start and game on.
There it is. Bye.
Bye.